But for you guys, if you guys need someone, let me know. All right.
I need Mike to say I'm the Houston go-to girl. Start sending jobs.
Okay. So Edge has some pull. Ed had some pull on that.
Edge. I'm here. I'm here.
Houston. Okay.
Houston, Galveston, Brazoria County.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't have a whole lot.
Say I wasn't. Can I just say, like, I would say that I serve Ventura County, but now that I'm with this group, am I able to say like I'm nationwide or?
Yes. Oh, you mean locally? Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yes. What you do, that is like the key unlock right there, actually. The hard thing is, I will tell you, if you start sending work out to other people in other areas, there's a couple things you got to be aware of right away. Is if you say you're nationwide and they use you directly, because attorneys do like to do that. And once you do a good job for them, they do like to hire you locally. One thing is just pay the server immediately before the serve. It will take such a weight off your shoulder about like trying to remember and stuff. I can't remember those things. I'm like, so we just pay everyone immediately. And in the platform, we pay everybody. It's going to be paid immediately. So that's one thing. The other thing is, you're liable. You're liable. Like, you are now a third party person if you send that serve to them, and now they're reporting status to you and you're reporting status to the client, and then you send it to them, you paid them, and now they're not responding, and it's been a week, and then they do respond, and then their mother-in-law was in the hospital and somehow they just fell off the map for a week.
I think that's what I've heard is the biggest thing is that ones that have gone like local, like I know I only serve my papers. And then, people that have, done nationwide, they've tried to juggle both instead of just doing one. And it's just become overwhelming. Like they grew too fast and didn't have enough manpower. And then they lost the credibility with the lawyers because they weren't able to juggle the most. So I would say be careful to make sure that you don't bite off too much than you can chew. But, always keep on growing, of course. Don't stay stagnant. But that's the only thing.
I wouldn't do it right now, but I just wanted to know, just in case
Yeah, but it's not just a part of this group either, by the way. Like, I love that you said it that way. But the truth is, the process serving industry in general is very much forwarding. Like when I first started serving, I was like, can I legally send them where? I remember thinking that. I was like, but they're hiring me. Isn't that like unethical? And it was like, well, what do you think companies do when companies hire employees and they send the employee to go serve something? Like, they're the ones getting paid. They have a different agreement with the employee. Like in real estate, you do something similar, but you give a referral fee. So it's really it's all well.
That's sticky too, though.
Yeah. Well, real estate is very highly regulated.
Yeah, like there's a lot of regulations with that.
Yeah.
Isn't that a kickback? Is that what a kickback is called? Or no?
What I've done in the past is I get an email from a client and they say, hey, I need somebody in Texas. And originally I went to a group that I knew out of Chicago before I met all of you. And they had contacts all over the United States. And basically, once I made the contact with my group in Chicago, I stepped out. And that's what I told them. I know someone in Chicago that can take care of you, but I'm going to step out. If you want me to stay in, I'm happy to stay in, but you'll get a management fee for me staying in. But I have all the confidence in the world that these people can take care of you and they can do it. I have recently, since I've been in a group, I've had a few that have come up too. And I still my clients don't ask me to stay involved. So I'll contact a person that from the group that can handle the serve, get a hold of them. I ask, hey, how you doing? Are you busy? Can you handle this serve? And then I write the email to my client and I just pass them over to them and I step out. And I know I'm losing money when I do that, but I'm busy, and at this point, I don't want to juggle, like Adele's saying. I don't want to be that person trying to juggle, try to remember the responsibility and making sure I'm following up with that person. So instead of putting myself in that liability at this time, I'm stepping out of it. Maybe in the future, once I get it all under control, then I'll step back in and I'll be able to manage it when I'm able to stay in the office more. So that's another way you can do it. You could always if your client's needing someone, and these are clients I've had since 2008. I did their litigation support, so they know me and they'll reach out to me. It's not new clients. When I first got into the business with the process of service, this is clients that I had in litigation support that are reaching out and saying, hey, I need somebody in such and such date. Okay, I think I know someone. Just give me a few days and I'll connect you. And then I step out. And I always get great reviews too. I always ask them, give me your feedback. You know, make sure if you want me to know how well they did, feel free, just let me know. So I know that I gave you the right person as well. And so far that's worked out for me.
I like that. I like that. I recently gave a gate. I was doing a junk removal job, and this guy recommended me. He gave us a bunch of money, a bunch of work, and he said his neighbor needed a gate built. And I was like, well, I don't build gates, but I could refer you to somebody. So I actually know someone who does welding, and so I went out there, met him to do the welding, and I ride by that property. I don't know why, I just can't help myself. I ride by there a few times a week to see how his progress is coming, because that guy referred him to me, or referred me, and then I referred him to somebody else. I have responsibility over that. If that guy does a terrible job, I'm going to make sure that I make the person whole. I'm going to say, well, you know what? I'll pay someone else to come fix it. And he'll probably go, no, that's, because he's a good guy, and he's the guy who will, who I already know, who will pay me to do things in the future, like demolition work, you know, stuff for my son, for the business for my son. But Natasha, I think that's great feedback. I think that's a great way to look at it too, and to say this other method that I thought about doing, and I did do it a little bit, especially for areas that were far away from me, like for example, Kern. Like Mike Kern is a good friend. He was down in LA, and now he's in Texas, and his son's running the business in LA. And whenever I would get a job down there, I would just send it to Mike, and Mike would charge me $65 or $45 or $55, depending on it went up over time. And but with me charging $95 or $175 or whatever, depending on the rate, I was still able to make money. And then he has this whole system of people working in there. And then if it was an attorney who called and said, do you have someone down in this area, and it's this whole complex case, and we need them to wait, I'm saying call Kern down in LA, directlegal.com. And so that's a better way. One way to do it too when you're first starting out is just to simply be the person in your local area. Like Adele, you know, the way that she has a banner, she might as well be holding a flag that says Houston Galveston, like running. You know, and that's what you want to do, because everyone who knows you're their person in Houston Galveston, they're going to send you all the work there. And then what happens when someone calls you, you say, oh, you got to call Samantha down in there. It's the LA area. Oh, Pete, Sacramento area. You got to call Pete. So now what happens? Tell Pete I sent you. Okay. So when the attorney calls and goes, Pete, I talked to Adele with Rhino Justice. She said, you're the guy to talk to in Sacramento. Now Pete is like a little emotional deposit to Pete. Pete's like, please, seriously? Thank you, Adele, right? This is how business networking is supposed to work. And then he says, and then he goes, next time he hears about something in Houston, he feels like he owes you. He kind of does. Actually, if you really want to get down to it, he kind of does. Now, in real estate, they call that a referral, and he actually owes you money. In real estate, if you have a referral agreement, you know, you have to get an agreement up front. Otherwise, you don't do the referral. So in real estate, Adele would call you and go, hey, are you available for me to hand off? Let me send you the referral agreement, give my signature, because they will negotiate the percentage right away, which is so kind of crazy.
See, I'll turn around and just send Adele $10 on Zelle and say, hey, thank you.
Yeah,
a cup of coffee on me,
right?
You could do that too. That's why I sent out the berries. I'm just like, you know what? These people are good to me. They believed in me from the very beginning. I gotta take care of them, and we gotta keep building this thing. And it's not easy, guys, and it costs a lot of money. But most importantly is that you have people who care, who want to do it. Like if none of you guys showed up, or none of you guys, there's been times where it's like that, where you get one person show up. There's no one. If you're not building for somebody, well, then I would just focus on 1, 2, 3, and I would just be the backup myself in every city, and I would just never. See what I'm saying? Like, you got to be building it for somebody. You got to get feedback from a community that you're building something for. Otherwise, you're building something maybe nobody even likes, nobody even wants. Luckily, I have experience in the industry, so I know what I would want, and so I'm building it for myself, and then getting feedback from you, because you guys give me ideas on how to make it even better. Like the idea of having some like subtext underneath the standard rush and stuff, that'll give details, and so people will start to always look there right away. Like, what does this mean? An attempt within 4 days, an attempt within 72 hours, whatever it means to you, you'll be able to put that in there, which is pretty cool. I think that's a great idea. Great idea. And there'll probably hopefully there'll be hundreds, thousands of more ideas by the end of this year.